Welcome to the Reaction Review, fellow simmer. It's me, GripperSim, and today we're looking at JustFlight's PA-38 Tomahawk. There's a lot of talk this week about Microsoft's 2020 flight simulator. If you want my thoughts, let me know in the comments and I'd be happy to oblige. But for now, let's have a look at JustFlight's PA-38, which was released, maybe 2 weeks ago. Today we're located in Courchevel, it's a ski resort in France. I can't pronounce it.
Courchevel.
Oh, why, thank you very much. Okay, let's have a look at this aircraft very quickly, fly it around, talk about the cockpit and the reality of the aircraft to real life. GripperSim, eye candy, go!
Courchevel.
This aircraft has 10 liveries in total. Now, I have to be quick and straight off the bat. I do think the logic model of this aircraft is absolutely brilliant. Now, when JustFlight say it's the most detailed model yet, I do agree most certainly. Now, the aesthetics of the aircraft, all the PPR is all very nice, and that's what we've all come to expect pretty much. Now, but when it comes to realism, I'm kind of, that's what I'm interested in. As more than likely you are also, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Now, I'd like the detail of the cockpit. I think the reflections might be a little bit too much in the reflections. All the sounds, see that? All the sounds are really, really impressive. The sounds in this aircraft are brilliant. You'll notice the Doppler effect on some of the clips I'm about to show you. The circuit breakers, which I'll show you again shortly, they have their logic. So all the logic in this aircraft is really, really spot on, including the low voltage warning light here and the alternator light. Now they do have all the switches for the air conditioning, but obviously you're not going to feel that working. Now let's have a look at the back. Now one thing I do like about this aircraft is, and these types of aircraft, is they're not new, okay? You can see the dust in the center console there. You can see the dust on the seats, the worn seats, little gashes on the dashboard, etc., which kind of reminds you that these aren't new and it's a very authentic model. It looks like it's actually modeled off a real aircraft, and it does look like a very well kept second-hand PA-38. Let's take off and see what happens. Nothing bad's going to happen. Okay, and welcome to the cockpit. Okay, I'm not going to go to the checklist. I'm just setting the trim a little bit nose up. And we're going to switch on the master. And we'll switch on the collision light. And I want to show you a few things before I start up. First of all, let's have a look at the fuel pump. Now the sound, listen to this. You hear that? Brilliant. I love the sounds in this aircraft. Next, the circuit breakers. So if I switch off the circuit breaker, see the pressure goes down and the pump stops. So all the logic for the circuit breakers work really, really well. The sounds are like the real aircraft. That's 10 flaps. And start her up. I can tell you that the engine sounds are authentic. Now let's have a look at some of the systems in the aircraft. What I'm doing here is I'm pushing the RPM up to 1800 RPM, and I'm going to have a look at the magnetos. Now I'm going to switch from the left, from both to left. See the way the RPM drops there? Okay, I'm kind of fiddling around with them here, trying to switch it to the right. But as you'll see, you've got both magnetos on. Then I switch it to the left. See there? And the RPM drops. You're actually switching off some of the spark plugs in very rough terms. If you want to know how they work, let me know in the comments below, and I'll do a little video on them. And here's the carb heat. Carb heat hot, and the RPM drops. That's because you're putting hot air into the engine, and of course hot air is less dense, so you get less performance. Carb heat is essentially to avoid icing in the engine while you're flying. Now let's go for flight. Close the door, and let's open the window. See the sounds change when you open the doors and the windows. Now before I go, I'm putting the throttle up a bit because we're high up. We're about 6,500 feet. Okay, there you are, right, just above 6,500 feet. Now I'm leaning the mixture. Look at the RPM. It increases as I lean the mixture. Okay, you're getting the right fuel to air ratio for your altitude, which is very important. So when you're high altitude, you need to be sure of your mixture settings. Have a listen to the engine sounds here. The taxiing's fine, but I do notice from time to time this unnecessary skidding. Okay, let's come to a halt here now, and we'll get ready. I'm just going to close that little window to the left. It'll close automatically anyway if you take off with it on, and so will the door, incidentally. Okay, so we got first stage of flaps, and I think we're ready to go out of this crazy airport. Let's fly it like we stole it. I'd be pretty sure to say that some of you are thinking of commenting that I took off, or should I say I rotated way too early at that takeoff. I did it on purpose, purely because I noticed when I'm barreling down the runway it gets very skittish and kind of goes off the runway a little bit. I think it's a sensitivity of my rudder pedals today, folks. So that's why I did a short field technique and took off into the air. Now, sometimes people comment when I review an aircraft, should they buy it or not. It's not up to me to tell you to buy it or not, to be honest with you. But I will tell you that JustFlight's PA-38 is of the same power, probably a bit more than their Cessna 152. So that's saying good things. So we're turning in for finals. I'm going to start dumping flaps down soon. This is my first landing on this Courchevel airport. Did I pronounce that right? Courchevel? Anyway, let's see how I get on. So what I'm thinking here is, this is an uphill slope. I think it's about 18 or 19 degrees uphill. So that will help me stop. But I'm going to have to adjust my horizon, because my horizon now is going to be at the top of the end of the runway. First stage of flaps. I'm guessing if I try and land at the very beginning of the runway, the very beginning of this runway is a little bit flat, if you like, and then the rest is an upslope. I think if I try that, I'll mess things up. So I think I'll just adjust it to land after the piano keys. Now that was fun. It's a very fun aircraft to fly. It's a very popular trainer. If you're thinking of getting something that's, you know, if you're new to flight sim and you want to get something simple to start with, that's realistic as well, and that you can actually go out to your local airfield and fly, this is the one for you. So other than that, it's up to your taste, really. But I'm happy with it. Very happy. Now, this isn't the only landing I did. Let's have a look. Okay, so I'm trying to... I just want to see if I land late. You see the little bit of flat bit on the top of the runway there? I bet you I'll stop before the end. I'll do a short field landing technique. I've got full flaps. I'll certainly stop towards the end just to show you short field. So I don't want to float it here. Oh, no, I'm floaty. I've done a floaty landing. The worst type of short field you can do is floaty landing. Okay, I'm going to stop in time. Nothing bad's going to happen. Bugger. That never happened before. It's not sportsmanlike to take advantage of other people's misfortunes, but I really take this as a lesson for real flying. I do watch these videos, but it is entertaining for you, of course, but only because, well, nobody was hurt, thankfully. A few bumps and scrapes and quite a fright. Oh, I've run out of time. Brilliant.
Courchevel.